So as Christians, I think we have to follow the model of Jesus and we have to practice real solitude. In his ministry, he would go away into lonely places. You see that phrase repeated over and over again in the Gospels. And it was a time of silence and solitude and prayer so that he could say, not my will, but yours be done. He could know his identity. He probably studied in the book of Isaiah, talking about the suffering servant, knowing his identity, his mission, what he is called to. And we, as his followers, must do likewise. In fact, even just in a general sense, silence, solitude, and reflection is powerful. Statistically, most people, most of you probably feel like you're losing your mind and losing your memory. And what's interesting is that digital technology is actually not really helping that process. Because what used to happen, there was this thing in the 90s called boredom, right? You may have heard of it. And what would happen is that in the silence and in times of reflection, your short-term memory would be able to move to your long-term memory. But the problem now, though, is that every time you're thinking about something like, oh, does that apply to me? How can I use that? Like, what? Oh, I got a text. I got Twitter. Oh, shoot, okay, and you just get distracted. And we miss what God has for us. Have you ever said this? I don't even know why I said that. I don't even know why I did that. I don't even know what my motivation was there. Proverbs 20, verse 5 says, the purpose of a man's heart is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. It takes time, it takes reflection, it takes solitude and prayer to know even who you are and what your motivations are and what's really driving you. And so few of us take that time. Now, we need to practice real solitude. We also need to practice real community. See, and I think this is one of the things that, especially in the digital age, the local church and the family, there is no substitute for them. I hear people all the time, I don't really need to go to church. I podcast, I listen to worship music. But there's something here in this moment with human beings next to you that you can do here that you cannot do through a phone. You can interact, you can hug, you can cry, you can pray for others. We have an opportunity that cannot be replicated digitally. And people talk about the online church, and I shrug my head because God has intended through the incarnation of Jesus to elevate the blessedness of embodied presence.